NFL Week 14 spreads and totals picks coming your way after this loud intro. Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me. We will start by talking about last week, and then we'll get into the picks. So last week, our spread bets were not great. We did have a losing week, although it was not by much. What hurts the most is we lost our two extra most bestest picks of the week, Denver +3 and Philly +3. Both of those, unfortunately, did not hit, but our totals continue to be very, very hot. We won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and only lost 3. 10-3 is fantastic, so you love to see that. We started making these videos in week 7, so this tracking is all the way up to date from then. We have a winning record for our green picks in the spread and our extra most bestest picks, so that's great, but we do have a losing record overall. As for totals, we're kind of crushing it. We have a winning record in every single category, green, yellow, and red, and of course the extra most bestest for a 64-40 record overall. That is very profitable. That feels good. Let's try to keep it up. Arizona and Washington are on a bye. Everybody else is full go, and we will start with our Thursday night game, which people are so excited about. No one said ever. I'll keep it short and sweet. I think the Steelers have more to play for. They must win this game for the playoffs. Mitch Trubisky will play, and I think he's going to try to prove a lot being the backup. I think this is an ugly game, a low-scoring game, something of a 21-3 type of a game. So I like the Steelers -6 in a high-confidence pick and the under 30.5. The Patriots have only scored 1 touchdown in their last 3 games. Their offense, the only productive person on their offense is Ramondre Stevenson, who will be out of this game with an ankle injury. They're averaging 1 touchdown on the road per game this season. It's not looking good. These would be my picks. The game that kicks off Sunday has big playoff implications, although I am not confident in any of it. I can't figure out the NFC South, and I'm not going to pretend I can. This is a matchup we saw in Week 7. Tampa Bay lost 13-16, a very low-scoring game, but it is a must-win for Tampa, and that is a sentiment you're going to hear repeated a lot in this video, must-win for playoffs. Their schedule, Tampa Bay's schedule, is much tougher ahead, so I think they find a way to cover this +2.5, and I do like the over 39. The Falcons games are low scoring as of late, but they have not faced a legitimate, decent, respectable offense for 4 weeks. And I think that Rachaad White, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield would be the most powerful offense they've faced in a month. So I like the over here at 39, and I do like Tampa Bay to cover. Another interesting NFC North battle with the Lions in firm control of this division and the Bears really not having much to play for. Now, the Bears do come in off a bye, and they found some rhythm. They did lose by 5 against Chicago 3 weeks ago. Tons of points were scored. I think something like 57 points were scored in that game. The Lions have won 4 out of their last 5. Obviously, we saw them lose on Thanksgiving to another division opponent in the Packers. They have 3-5-5-12. I have no idea what that means, so let me pause this video and figure that out. Their winning margin over the last 4 games has been 3-5-5-12, so most of their games have been pretty close. I don't know if their defense is just bad, okay? 4 out of their last 5 games that they have played, the totals have gone over 50, and we're getting a total 10 under that at 39.5, so that is my extra most bestest. Green Beans Go slam of the week is the over in this game, and I have an average confidence in the Lions to cover this -3. Good grief, save some extra most bestest for later in the show. I know. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I think the Bengals +1 with their backup quarterback is value in this spot. I like the Bengals at home off of a tough but deserved win in Jacksonville on Monday night. This is their last shot for the playoffs. They are in the race, the Bengals are, and I think a lot of people threw them to the wayside when Joe Burrow went down, but my boy Browning is crowning, okay? He is coming forth to show his backup glory to the NFL, and he's doing a darn good job. So I think they have a chance to cover this number +1, although it's small, at home against the Colts. I also do like the over. The Colts did have a dramatic win last week against Tennessee, but I think Cincinnati is actually a step up from a Tennessee team, even with Cincinnati's backup, Jake Browning, in the game. So I just think this is a tricky spot for the Colts, who have to go on the road again. They played a lot of games at home this year. They've had a heavily home-weighted schedule. So this is a tough spot in Cincinnati against a team that has rhythm. Watch out for that. Give me the Bengals +1. Speaking of teams who lose to the Bengals, we have Jacksonville visiting the Browns and no Lawrence, no Kirk. So what is this team going to do? I'm not sure, but I do know that CJ Beathard is a vet and he came in that game late and he led a drive to take it to overtime. So I have confidence that he is going to do what he needs to do to cover this +3. And part of this +3 deals with the fact that the Browns have been Swiss cheese the last few weeks. I mean, their defense has been exploited and exploited in big ways. Their defense has turned for the worse. Now they have been on the road where they do play worse. They get to come home for this game. Joe Flacco should start. I think they'll put up points too. 30 points? 30 points? That might get beat in the first half. Give me the over 30. Why is it red? Why is it red? Are you kidding me? 30 points? 30 points? What was I thinking? That's a slam. Over 30, absolutely. Jaguars +3, although that one is low confidence. Another NFC South matchup, we have a lot of interdivision tangling this week. The Panthers have had a one-score game in 4 out of their 6 games since the bye, and I just don't know if teams tank. Like, are they keeping it close and then throwing it in the fourth quarter so they can get that draft pick? Well, they don't have a draft pick. They have to give it to the Bears. I digress. I don't know what's going to happen. The Saints still have something to play for. The division is still in reach for them. I had low confidence for both of these. These would be my picks. I can't even say it out loud. I made this sheet, and then I got the alert that Zach Wilson will be the starter. Robert Saleh did go ahead and make him the starter, so you can kind of ignore my scripted matchups part here for the Jets. But I do think this team still has too many questions. I do think that 5.5 right now is low, and I think we see 6 or 7 by kickoff. So if you want value, I would take the 5.5 right now. Now, Tank Dell is out for the year, one of the biggest playmakers for this team. He did suffer an injury, but I think they have enough, even with him going down, to continue a playoff run, and it starts here in New York. So give me the Texans -5.5 and another low total. And I'm an under guy usually, and it's worked out. Look at my totals record, right? We're crushing it and we're picking unders, but a lot of overs this week, over 32.5, although it is low confidence. Another weird one here, the Rams travel to Baltimore, and I'm going to just put this simply. West Coast teams, 1 o'clock starts on the East Coast, do not typically fare well. And I think the last 3 games the Rams have played have been easier opponents, and they are overvalued in the market. So give me the Ravens -7, although I would love a 6.5. So if you're into teasers, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, don't tease anything because, you're losing value. If you play teasers, I would tease this down under that key number of 7. This is another home game for the Ravens where they play well. I think they have enough on the defensive side to contain the passing offense of the Rams, and I don't know if Kyron Williams is in form yet to run on this Ravens defense. So I think the Ravens could put up 30 on the Rams here. So that's why I like the over, but I do like the Ravens -7. This one could get ugly in Santa Clara. We've already seen this matchup, and we will see it again for the second time in 3 weeks. And Seattle got obliterated at home, and they will get obliterated again. They're going to allow 30 points. If the Eagles allowed 30 points to this team, the Seahawks may allow 40. So watch out. This team is stranded at sea. No pun intended. It's over for Seattle. Again, look behind me, guys. This is my team. I know when they're cooked. And, buddy, stick a fork in it. Steam's coming out. They are tender. It's over. They don't lose at home. That is the 49ers. They have too many weapons for Seattle to contain. Over 46.5, -10.5. Lock those in. This one has me completely perplexed. I think these teams come in exactly even on paper. So why would you take Minnesota -3? I'll tell you why. Because Joshua Dobbs is looking good. Both these teams come in off a bye. The Vikings have more to play for also, so I think that is an extra motivating factor. Over 40.5, I guess. I'm not interested in this game. Throw your stones, people. I don't care. I know the Bills lost to Philadelphia. It was in overtime. The Bills competed. I know Philadelphia just got blown out by San Francisco, so maybe Philadelphia isn't even that good. I get it. I know all of that. But who just lost to the Packers? That's right. Your beloved Kansas City Chiefs. Your beloved Time Person of the Year's girlfriend's tight ends dating partner. You know what I'm saying, guys? Listen right now. Bills +2.5. This is an absolute must win. I know I've said it 3 times in this video, but this is for sure an absolute must win for the Bills. I would love this number at 3.5. It would be a slam for me if it was 3.5, but it's 2.5. We have to take that, and I would take that, although it is low confidence. They are off a bye. It's a much-needed win. They have a brutal loss to Philly 2 weeks ago. They have a new offensive coordinator. I think they'll get the job done. Kansas City, I don't think, as crazy as it sounds, will keep pace offensively with this Bills team. I like under 47. I see this being a 24-17 type game where the Bills win by a touchdown. This one is a bit frustrating as well. Another division matchup. The Broncos have something to play for and that the playoffs are within reach, and the Chargers are pretty much done, but I don't think that'll stop the Chargers from trying. Last week, they scored 2 field goals. They had a 6-0 win. Horrendous, right? I think they return home and they put up points. I think they're going to put up 24-30 on the Broncos. So I like that over 43.5, and I do like the Chargers to cover here. I know the Broncos have looked good. I know their defense has looked good, but I think if CJ Stroud can play at home the way he did, then Herbert should be able to do the same, right? Quite possibly the most exciting game of the week, although it would be more exciting had Philadelphia won last week against San Francisco. We do see Dallas as a 3.5-point favorite, which is a bit of a shock, and I think if the Eagles won last week, they may come into this as road favorites. We don't see that. A very, very, very high total, 52.5. I think the Cowboys are putting up over 30 at home, so maybe that's why, but I don't think we get to quite that many points because I think Dallas's defense steps up in a big way after kind of being humiliated last week by a Seattle team who put up 30 on them in Dallas. So all of that to say, I think Dallas's offense has similar weapons that we saw with San Francisco. And so Dallas is able to kind of duplicate that game plan with short intermediate passes, with sweeps, with wide receivers in motion a lot of the time. So watch out for that from Dallas. They did lose by 5 at Philadelphia in week 9. Kind of a revenge spot here. They're undefeated at home. Seattle did put up a lot of points on Dallas, but I think they get it together this week. They played on Thursday. They have some extra rest. So watch out for this Dallas team. Big, big game to prove something. My dogs are barking. Everything's going crazy around me. -3.5, under 52.5. I'm really not interested in this game at all. If I had to make picks, plus 13.5 for Tennessee, I know that's dangerous with this Miami offense. Under 47, I know that's dangerous with this Miami offense. That's why they're low confidence. Ugh. And our Monday night game is the Packers and the Giants, and I think this is another sneaky spot where maybe the Packers are a bit overvalued. We see them win against Detroit on Thanksgiving. We see them turn around on Sunday Night Football and beat the Chiefs. Is this Packers team for real? Are they legit? Is Jordan Love the guy? On and on and on. This is playoff contention type game, but I'm just worried that the Packers are going to get caught sleeping against a team that they think they can run all over. The Giants are coming off of a bye. They have 2 wins in a row. I know it's not against respectable teams. I think a low-scoring game is in store for us. So give me the Giants plus 6.5. They'll control the ball. They'll control the clock. We'll see under 36.5. I know these are low confidence, but I think we see a tight game, something like a 17-15 game, and those would be my picks for this Monday night game. Thank you for watching. If you watched all of this, or you're at least seeing this part, type a comment. Let me know what game you're most excited about or what pick you're most excited about. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. We appreciate you. We love you, and we will see you next time.